Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here with all your cool wrestling facts, all the action inside and outside of the ring, also behind the curtain. Also, we talk our WWE, AEW, anything like in terms of wrestling documentary wise. For me personally, I like to kind of dive into that kind of stuff. It's nice to kind of dissect the thoughts and just the overall feelings of the wrestlers kind of in the promotions. Like if you're watching on Vice, Who Killed WCW? It's been absolutely electric. It's been. I'm probably gonna do probably a segment on it as soon as as soon as it's all said and done, because there's so much to dissect. So much to dissect. Obviously, it'd be a whole new probably whole episode, which if we have an episode full of WCW stuff, don't be mad at me. I'm just kidding. Thank you, thank you for tuning into the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We have a lot for you on tap today. We have our WWE NXT review. We also have our AEW Dynamite preview. We have we look forward to the future. We talk about the new home of SmackDown on the USA Network, and also Monday Night Raw on Netflix. We also talk about our tag team Money in the Bank. Why doesn't the tag team division have a Money in the Bank briefcase? A lot of people have speculations that it would be overall, that it would kind of diminish the value, kind of diminish the just the special feeling of when somebody cashes in the Money in the Bank. But honestly, I think that's kind of baloney. And lastly, our fifth and final segment, we're going to talk about our wrestling news, our Wednesday wrestling news. So yeah, make sure you stay tuned for the end of the show to catch that, all the hottest breaking news in the professional wrestling industry. But before we move on, I want to remind you guys to use the tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. Shoot me your questions, comments, and concerns. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me things about wrestling that you wish that I knew. Things that, I am only human. I am only human. Sometimes I might actually, kind of glaze over some, crucial facts. Hardly. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not that conceited. But most of the time, this show's a lot better when I'm getting chats. I love hearing you guys' voices. I love hearing your, your thoughts about future storylines, rumors, and title changes and stuff like that. So remember to hit up the GSMCpodcast.net with your comments, questions, and concerns. Remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Also, follow the show, the GSMC Sports Network, and yeah, be a part of this amazing bloodline that we have of sports podcasters. All right, so let's jump on into our segment one. We're going to talk about WWE NXT. So we're going to start off. We have a street fight right off the bat. We have Jaida Parker against Michin of the OC. Jaida Parker, they have one hell of a match. It was actually kind of cool. Although right now it's kind of under kind of WWE duress. It's kind of under WWE. Don't no bloodshed, no nothing really crazy. She did bring out the bag, and I was like, no way that's filled with thumbtacks. No way that's filled with thumbtacks. And it was filled with bolts and screws and lug nuts and stuff like that. I was like, all right, that's still kind of cool. That still, I guess, replaces the thumbtack kind of initiative. But overall, it was a good match. A lot of it was, once again, I like to kind of, you know, once when Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair kind of had their Hell in a Cell match. Once when I think it was Lita and Victoria had I think they had a hardcore match. Don't quote me on that. Back when you had your first ever Divas Revolution. It was just cool how the ladies kind of stepped out of that. Oh, I'm just a lady kind of limelight, and it's not just it wasn't the ladies' fault. It wasn't wasn't Lita's fault, Trisha's fault, Victoria's fault at all. Tori Wilson. It was more or less the WWE creative that was like, what, no one wants to see that. They're more or less interested in girls going out there, kind of showing their goodies, but allegedly, of course, gotta add that. Uh, I liked it. I like this match between Jaida Parker and Michin. Obviously, you have OTM and you have the OC. This is gonna, kind of grind up. This is gonna gruel up to an amazing kind of. I would love to see this match happen on the pre-show. Maybe you have a 3-on-3 match like back when WWE used to do it. You have the intergender match where when the girl gets tagged in, you got to put in the girl. When the dude gets tagged in, you got to put in the dude, bro. So, definitely think that that would be pretty awesome to, kind of see toward the future. You saw broken walls, you saw weapons, nuts and bolts, and yeah, it was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome. Jaida Parker was able to pick up the victory. Next, we have the new Catch Republic against, Ledger and Walker. Ledger and Walker have been kind of walking around wanting this match for the longest time. Obviously, when you want to debut yourself within the WWE or with any wrestling promotion, you kind of want to prove that you're there to just basically show the world that I'm just kidding. No, I got that from Nick Nemeth. It's not, Dolph Ziggler. I'm here to show the world. It was a pretty badass theme. It's a pretty awesome theme. But I feel like the best way to, get into the grind of WWE is to fight someone who's going to ultimately go out there and kind of kick your ass. Kind of kick your ass, show you the ropes, be like, look, I'm going to take a bump. You're going to take a bump. And after this, we'll go out and we'll get a drink and stuff like that. So you saw this with the new Catch Republic, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates against Ledger and Walker. Obviously, you saw the new Catch Republic become victorious, and you saw the ultimate show of respect after the match. They came together, shook hands, gentlemen, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Like, dude, why can't more matches be like that? I love the fact that they kind of went out there and did that. Definitely pretty awesome. Next, you saw Brinley Reese against Izzy Dame. This match was basically to show Izzy Dame was, just this badass new competitor. Probably is going to fight Roxanne Perez, heading toward, SummerSlam weekend. But where was the mention of TNA? When was the mention of Izzy Dame confronting Jordan Grace? Where was all of that? Where was all that? I did not see it. It was kind of terrible. Sorry. I feel like WWE ultimately kind of gave TNA that you know, kind of that brush off. It was like, you don't need to mention us, but you need to mention, I don't need to mention you to be successful, but you ultimately need me to be successful. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I did not like to see Izzy Dame go out there. You didn't hear it from Vic Joseph. You didn't hear it from Booker T. Not even once mentioning, them invading TNA Impact, which was kind of lame. I thought that was really stupid. I feel like if WWE NXT wants to eventually, kind of branch out from the WWE kind of, they're going to be their own entity. They're moving to the CW. They're going to start producing live shows. And overall, I feel like the only thing that's going to put the butts in the seats for anybody to go to WWE NXT is a collaboration. There's a collaboration between TNA, maybe the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, maybe, but I don't know. It's just I didn't like that. I did not like that. Obviously, you saw Izzy Dane pick up the victory against Brinley Reese. Next, you see Lola Vice. Lola Vice, the number one contender for Roxanne Perez's WWE NXT Women's World Champion. Sorry, it's pretty hot in here. I'm sweating in my own eyes. Uh, it was pretty. It was surprising. It was very surprising. I I like Roxanne Perez. I like Lola Vice, but the way Lola Vice kind of, approached this match was a little unorthodox. Obviously, you did get the NXT universe behind your back, talking about your mom, talking about how much she's fought for you, how you went out there. MMA was the only way that you could provide for your family, so you went out there, kicked some ass, helped your family. Round of applause. Round of applause. I thought that was super cool. It kind of did come off a little random. It did come off a little random. I did not honestly expect that at all. She came out, started crying. I was like, oh shit. So I was like, what's about to go on right now? It's about to go down. But overall, it did not. Overall, it did not. Lola Vice, she took a shot. She hit one of Roxanne Perez's, bodyguards. But it was kind of crazy. It was kind of crazy. This is honestly the most important match of Lola Vice's career. 1,010%, 110% true. Roxanne Perez once again reiterating, and honestly, she says this because she has a great confidence. She has a great confidence because Lola Vice is dynamite when it comes to MMA. She's dynamite when it comes to NXT Battleground matches. She's dynamite when it comes to her her striking abilities. But this isn't a UFC match. Once again, this is not a UFC match. This is Roxanne Perez. She masters the art of professional wrestling within the squared circle. She said, and I quote, "You're in my world." She's like, "You're in my world now." So, once again, Lola Vice, she got pretty teared up. I felt a little bad. I was like, "Oh my god!" I don't know why, but like whenever people start crying, I'm like, "Dude, no flipping way." Like, moving on. You saw the no quarter catch crew. Miles Bourne against Ora Mensa. His kind of newly rejuvenated look. I like it. You kind of had him with Metaphor, with Noam Dar, and you kind of saw him in the background constantly. Wanted to be more than just kind of Noam Dar's, kind of like a little side piece, a little bit. Not side piece, like side piece, but kind of like, side attraction in terms of Metaphor. Love that Oro's actually going out there, kind of proving, getting his own. Thought that was pretty badass. Wendy Chu, scary as hell, defeated Carly Bright. Brooks Jensen was invited by the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, the NXT general manager, to come back and try to fix this. Recently, Brooks Jensen has been, once over and over again, trying to, kind of, you know, trying to prove Ava wrong, trying to prove the WWE wrong, trying to prove Shawn wrong. And they had this, oh my God, they had this storyline that he could be an alcoholic, could be a raging alcoholic, could do something to do with, narcotics, maybe. I don't think they kind of hinted at it a little bit. And Shawn Michaels is like, look, I believe in second chances. I believe in second chances. So, Brooks Jensen, you are invited to join WWE NXT next week to sit down with me, Ava, and talk about future plans. So I thought that was, obviously very admirable, very bold of the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. But it's kind of crazy. So Jasmine Nix defeats Carmen Petrovic thanks to the distraction by JC Jane. Ariana Grace and Carmen will take on JC Jane and Jasmine Nix heading toward. And then finally, you had the 4-on-4 fatal four-way match. You had, the contract signing. They got pretty heated. Ultimately, you saw Ethan Page and Shawn Spears laid out by the young OG Javon Evans, only 20 years old, and then you saw the WWE NXT World Heavyweight Champion Trick Williams standing above, and overall it was a pretty good show, pretty darn good show. Well, guys, do not go anywhere. We're going to jump on into our next segment. We have AEW Dynamite live tonight on Wednesday. It's Wednesday. That means AEW Dynamite is going to be live here on the GSMC Sports Network. So, hey, do not go anywhere.